Alright, boys, I have a special one today. Very special, very nostalgic for me because it takes me about 10 to 12 years back in my life. So today we're talking about Project L33T. We'll go ahead and get it out of the way. As the title and the thumbnail says, it's a fucking scam. And I'm going to dive into why that is, what information we have, what the connections are, and I mean, it's a rabbit hole, dude. It's a deep dive. So we have to start with a name, and that name is Sergey Titov. Now, if that name rings a bell for any of you out there, then it's unfortunate, right? I feel bad for you. It rings a bell to me. I feel bad for myself. Why is that? Well, Sergey Titov is the mind behind such games as War Z, or otherwise known as Infestation Survivor Stories, the New Z, or Infestation Survivor Stories, Romero's Aftermath, Wild West Online, New Frontier, Last Man Standing, Shattered Skies. How many of you have actually heard about those games, and how many of you have actually played those games and experienced that? To give you a little bit of backstory, I played War Z when it was called War Z and not Infestation, the New Z, or Infestation Survivor Stories. I played War Z when I was 13 years old. I was a mod for Summit 1G, 13 Stealth Exploit. It's probably still in his logs somewhere on his account. I was also a mod for Artemis Knives, and I played with Dakotas a lot. So I played with all three of those streamers, Summit obviously being the one that's still pretty popular and the front runner of he's a front runner of streaming. I played with all of them, right? I played fucking War Z. I remember how big of a scam that game was. I remember how cheaters were encouraged to cheat because it funded the game. You could go on G2A back in the day before they had all the laws for it and buy War Z for 81 cents if you got banned for cheating, right? It's crazy. Anyway, Sergey Titov is the head. He was the CEO for Arctos Entertainment, which was a company investing into interactive entertainment or whatever. He was also the chief executive officer for Free Reign Entertainment. I'm pretty sure Hammerhead Studios, which did War Z, he was the lead creative, whatever. And all of those games ended up dead, right? And now we have this new game, Project L33T, coming out. Project L33T has direct ties to Sergey Titov, thanks to the game's fund, thanks to his wife working at, I believe it's Holmgard Games, whatever it's called, thanks to most of the employees that work for this development company that's pushing out Project L33T. Most of them worked for Arctos Entertainment, which, as I said, he was a CEO for, so it's hard not to see the connections, especially with his wife working there, but it has been confirmed that he is directly tied into the game as a general partner through the game's fund. Now, why is that a problem? Well, I have a fucking list. So, Holmgard was founded in 2020, as I said, and most devs worked for Arctos Entertainment, which is, or at least was, owned by Sergey Titov. The lead designer of this game, Project L33T, worked on Shattered Skies, Infestation Survivor Stories, and Last Man Standing. Holmgard also says that they're registered in Delaware. They're not. There is no Holmgard LLC or anything else registered in Delaware, but Arctos Entertainment is. Project L33T is using assets that they bought from Arctos. Holy shit, the game already has microtransactions, right? Like, we're getting into the thick of it with just everything. Project L33T costs $70 for access. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but this is not the first time. Tarkov did not invent the you pay more money for a better edition of the game, get higher stash sizes and everything else. That was War Z, dude. That was War Z. And this game, to even get access to their closed alpha, closed beta, whatever, is $70 fucking dollars. The game already has microtransactions, right? War Z, Infestation Survivor Stories, whatever, when I played back then, it was plagued by microtransactions. If you didn't own multiple characters on the game and one of your characters died, you had to wait an hour for them to come back to life or pay money for them to come back to life so you can continue playing the fucking game. It was a scam. I don't care what anybody says. Did I have fun with War Z? Yes. It was a fucking scam. Okay? All previous Arctos / Free Reign games had pay-to-win microtransactions. You could buy meta guns armor, etc. The devs of this company are doing exactly what Free Reign and Arctos and Sergey did. They're rage-striking content creators who talk back at the game. I might be one of them. We'll see how it goes. They're banning people on their forums and their Discord. This game is still using the fucking War Z engine. If you have played War Z, Infestation, Survivor Stories, Romero's Aftermath, Shattered Skies, any of the games that ran on this War Z engine, you will immediately recognize it when you play Project Elite. It feels the fucking same. I'm just glad Sergey finally worked out how reticles work. He still hasn't worked out the fact that when you reload a gun, if you haven't emptied the magazine while you were shooting, you don't have to pull the bolt back. Your ammo that was in the gun already is going to go flying out. You just wasted a bullet. In this game, it's so lazy. Every time you reload, regardless of whether you emptied the magazine or not, you're pulling the bolt back on every gun. It's so fucking lazy. Holy shit. All of these games that I'm talking about right now, all of them, Shattered Skies, Infestation, Survivor Stories, they were abandoned shortly after release, and like they barely got support for a year or two, if even that. It's not even really just the games that got abandoned either, it's the entire fucking studio, and I have to talk about that. So, the thing is, once Sergey got caught in what he was doing, which was releasing games around the hype of popular games that were already released or getting ready to be released, which we'll talk about that here in a second, but he would make the game, throw it out before or right after that popular game came out. Once the hype started to die down and the problems really started to occur, and he started getting controversy because there were all these promised features that were supposed to be in the game, such as, you know, a 100 square kilometer map that he said was in the game, but it was measured and it was 10 square kilometers on War Z. All of these features and all of these different games that were promised on the Steam page that even had games like Infestation Survivor Stories taken off the Steam page for, you know, fraudulent activity, fraudulent advertising. Like, oh my god, once those controversies started, they would abandon the game. But after they got caught doing that with War Z, Infestation Survivor Stories, they decided to change the name of the studio, I think from Hammerhead Interactive to what was it, Free Reign, and pretend like he started a new company under the guise of creative controversy behind the scenes, where he wasn't in charge of all the decisions, and that's why all the bad things were happening, right? So then we get Free Reign Entertainment, which puts out Romero's Aftermath and Shattered Skies, Last Man Standing, all of these games, and same thing happens. When they would fail, when they would bomb on release because they were terrible, or when they would start getting controversies because of all these features that were promised that weren't being added, and you could tell that there was no plan to be added, it was barely getting support, just getting microtransaction updates, right? Then they would abandon the game completely and move on to a different one. But once they got caught doing that, we move into the Wild West Online New Frontier. We move into that saga where he would, I can't believe I'm saying this, like it's like a black market scam, right? He would somehow be behind these games, like the creative director or whatever, completely involved with the game, but have it hidden to the point where people were having to do all of this research and everything else, like right now with Project Elite, to where we're having to prove that he's involved with the game, right? And so they would create new companies. Like Wild West Online was developed and published by WWO Partners Ltd. When that game went under, right after it came out because it was terrible, the company just disappeared, right? But the employees didn't. They went back to Arctos and everything else because that was the parent company. It's Free Reign. And then right after Wild West Online failed, shortly the next year, we got New Frontier. And lo and behold, New Frontier was developed and published by Free Reign Entertainment, so it comes back full circle. They tried to hide it so hard in Wild West Online. I actually remember that controversy where people were like doing conspiracy theory shit and everything else to figure out that Sergey was involved with this game the same way that we're doing right now, and have figured it out. Now here's the thing when it comes to this game. We already know that Sergey is admitted in an email to Big Fry to be an investor in the game. It is now also confirmed because he is a general partner on the Games Fund website, which has direct involvement with Project Elite. But let's talk about how we know this is just a scam and it's going to be a flop. Because this game, it is once again doing what all the other games have done. It is capitalizing on the hype of a new game, in a genre, a game that's creating a new genre, whatever. So we'll go history lesson real quick. DayZ mod hit its 4 million players in August of 2012. War Z released in December of 2012. So August to December, War Z was thrown out and basically abandoned in less than 2 years, besides adding microtransactions, all that shit. So then we had Red Dead Redemption 2, which was slated for release in October of 2018. Wild West Online released a few months beforehand, completely failed, and was abandoned a couple of months later, like 2 months or some shit like that. And then there was an asset flip, as I said, by a completely different company who had access to all the same assets, being Free Reign Entertainment, when this was WWO whatever LTD, which was New Frontier. It was basically the same game, and it was released in early 2019. Holy shit, dude. And that flopped too. And then we get to Last Man Standing, which Last Man Standing was before Wild West Online, but PUBG was slated for release on March 23rd of 2017. Last Man Standing released on March 29th of 2017, flopped, and support was cut shortly afterwards. And now we get to fucking Project Elite, which I know I'm not the most coherent like fucking content creator or theory guy. You kind of have to go through my video to like piece it all together, but here it is getting pieced together. Now we have Gray Zone Warfare, which was revealed November 2nd, 2023. Project Elite was revealed February 28th, 2024. Gray Zone released April 30th of 2024 into early access, and then Project Elite opened up May 3rd, 2024 for $70 to play it. Gray Zone was $35, dude. This game is $70 to play, and it is fucking horrible. I've played the game. After I found out who was behind the game and everything else, and it sent me down the rabbit hole last night, before I figured all that out, I saw Landmark playing it, and I was like, it's on Steam, I'll request to play it. It looks shitty, but I want to try it out. You know, maybe it could be a video. And then I found the rabbit hole. Well, today I got approved, or yesterday technically, I got approved to play the game on Steam for free. And holy shit, it's trash. It's War Z, dude. It's first-person War Z with a slightly updated War Z engine, dude. It is fucking insane. I don't know how this guy has gotten away with this shit for like 12 years at this point, but he has, and I really hope we don't let him get away with it this time, because everything for Project Elite is the same as all of their other games. It releases with these fancy trailers with all of these promises, and then thanks to the fancy trailers and the promises, they also list editions of the game all the way up to like $150, $200, and access usually comes with a very expensive version of the game. It's terrible. Project Elite's going to be taken off Steam pretty soon, if I had to fucking guess. This game is not going to be around a year from now. I wouldn't even give it 6 months, but I'll be generous and give it a year. And do you know why that is? This guy is literally not allowed to publish games on Steam, to my knowledge. Like, he's not allowed to. That's why they had to jump through so many hoops with Wild West Online, with the WWO, LTD, whatever, producer and developer. That's why they had to do that, because this guy is literally not fucking allowed to have a game on Steam anymore. To my knowledge. Someone can correct me down below. I'm not touching this fucking game with a 10-foot pole. I've already uninstalled it off my computer. I played it for this footage, and that is it. Fuck Sergey Titov. Fuck anything he has to do with any type of game. I had fun with War Z, but I was 13 years old, right? And it was a scam. I even knew back then it was a scam. Yeah, it's a hornet's nest, dude. And I ain't jumping in the hornet's nest and getting scammed by Sergey Titov again. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. If I remember correctly, Big Fry brought a lot of this to attention. And then I watched another YouTuber, I cannot remember his name. I'm going to try to link his video in the description down below, because he really draws the connections in a very amazing way, and even calls the registry office for companies like this in Delaware to confirm that Holmgard is not registered there, but Arctos Entertainment is. So it was an incredible video. So I'll link that down below, hopefully, if I remember to. Again, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. This shit just blows me away. I can't believe he's been getting away with it for 12 fucking years and he's continuing to. But yeah, dudes, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. This one was a fun one to make because it was very nostalgic. But yeah, I will see you dudes on the next video. Hopefully it's more positive than this. But this one's funny to me, right? But anyway, my name is Toot and I've been your host. Thanks for watching. Peace out.